what's up? It's Nicole, Budgeting Busy, and this is where I talk budgets, breaking free from debt, cash stuffing, and frugality. Saving money is hot. Subscribe and come along with me as I get my money right. I'd like to start off by saying I'm not an extreme grocery shopper where I'm going to be able to share how to cook for a family of 4 on a $30 budget. I do love those videos though, as they do inspire me. Rather, I'm going to discuss how I can stay under a reasonable grocery budget and still eat tasty meals. I am going over my strategy to stay on budget and in fact reduce my grocery budget by 10%. I was able to do this in June, July, and August, and to continue to build that habit, I'm sticking to that goal again for September, October, and November. While we can all harp about inflation and how much items have increased, I have found a way to still eat tasty, home-cooked meals for a reasonable price. I will show you how I spend a little bit of time each week to plan my food that ultimately saves me both time and money in the week in just 3 steps. First, I do take inventory of all the food that I have on hand. Second, I come up with my meal plan. And third, I make that grocery list. I used to be a person who ordered takeout via delivery apps and even had grocery delivered for years. I would pay more for the actual food via those apps and also incur delivery charges and of course a tip. I do say time to time in my videos that the best definition of a budget that I've ever heard is that it's a declaration, not deprivation. As soon as I started to believe that and take a serious dive into budgeting, I realized I was spending an astronomical amount of money in a very wasteful manner. In my opinion, the journey to breaking free from debt seemed way more satisfying than a cheeseburger delivered by Bob for $20 because guess what? I can make that cheeseburger right at home. So let's jump right into taking inventory. So the inventory list is just that. You are literally taking inventory of everything that you have. You want to open that fridge, that freezer, you want to look in all your cupboards and see what you have on hand. And then you compile that list here. I think what's especially helpful is the produce section because these items can go bad quicker, and to reduce food waste, you want to make sure that you're always knowing what you have on hand and incorporating those into future meals as quick as possible. You're looking at all the meat you have, all the dry goods that you have, canned goods, box items, etc. What's your baking and dairy looking like? What kind of snacks do you have on hand? As I'm creating my inventory list, I am thinking too about this meat and fish that I may have on hand because I want to be using these items in meal planning for my week in order to hopefully reduce my grocery budget. So once I've done a complete inventory list, which is step 1, I move on to my weekly meal plan. This is not in a specific order of what night we're going to be eating the items, just a heads up in case you're wondering. I literally just write down the meal ideas. So tostadas is a meal idea because I actually still have tostadas left from last week, the shells themselves. And so then I decided I'm going to do salmon because I have salmon in the freezer. I'm going to do chicken wraps because I still have spinach wraps on hand. I'm going to do ground beef chalupas because this is a staple meal that I usually make once per week, either chicken or beef. Beef's newer, chicken is normally what I did, but I'm digressing. Then I go Korean chicken because I have a box of the Korean chicken that I could just air fry real quick. Spicy beef, again, this is a staple meal. I do need some of the main ingredients, but spicy beef is something that I make almost once a week. And then for this week, fortunately, it's my birthday on Monday, and I'm getting a free meal. My family is all coming over to my house on Monday night for dinner, and my mom's actually making us homemade pizza. So once I've identified those meals, then I start with what I have for those meals and then what I still need for those meals. Now you'll notice this weekly meal plan is just focusing on dinners. I do have breakfast and lunch ideas down here in the bottom. Again, this is based on items that we have on hand. So for breakfast ideas, we have oatmeal with frozen berries because I have that on hand. Avocado toast, I have bread still, and I have, I believe, 4 avocados, yep. Egg sandwiches because I have eggs and bread. Lunch ideas, cheese pizza because I have 1 cheese pizza still in the freezer. Soup and grilled cheese, I have frozen soups and 1 canned soup left, and I have bread and cheese. Peanut butter and jelly, I have all the items. Egg salad, I have eggs and bread. Tuna, I have 1 can of tuna left, and then leftovers. Usually from dinner, there's always at least one left over, and so somebody could eat that for lunch. All right, so after I'm done with the second step of the weekly meal plan, I move on to my grocery list. What's nice about identifying exactly what you're going to make, what you have on hand, and then what you need is you can just go right to your needs to make that list. So for the first one, I do need ground beef. And I need black beans. For number 2, I need rice. Number 3, I need potatoes. And I need 3 of those because I'm actually going to do baked potatoes with the salmon. Number 4, I need ground beef and rice. So I'm going to go ahead and start a little tally mark here. So far I need 2 pounds of ground beef. Rice, this is bulk, obviously, so that will cover that. Chicken wraps, I do need chicken. And I need dressing. Dressing is in the produce section of my normal grocery store. So I'm going to put it in the produce section because that's how I'm going to shop this list. I have a free meal, so I don't need anything there. And then I need ground beef, so I need 1 more pound. I'll add another tally there. I need pitas. Pitas are actually in the meat section of my grocery store. They're on this little tiny end cap. So again, because of how I shop this store, I want my list to be in order so I don't have to go back and forth and hopefully avoid throwing those random items into the cart. And finally, I need JoJo's. I'm going to put that down under other. Maybe I'll just add freezer too. That way I know I'm going to the freezer section. Okay, and a couple other items that I know I need offhand is butter. I also need avocado oil spray. All right, and let me give this just another thought. I am going to go ahead and add some cans of soup. Honestly, I'll probably get 3 to 6. I am also going to add to the freezer section, I want to get Nathan's pretzel dogs. These are just under $6 for a box. It only comes with 4, but it is nice to have something on hand that you can heat up quickly in case you're hungry and you want a hot meal. I will mention my produce section is looking pretty light, and that is because I did grow in my garden this year zucchini, squash, tomatoes, jalapenos, etc. And I have a ton of squash and zucchini that's already cut up and in the freezer, so I can pull that out, and I definitely want to utilize that as a way to reduce my grocery budget. So we will be eating a lot of zucchini and squash probably over the next month or so. All right, a couple other things that I need is coffee for the week. You know, I haven't really talked about this a lot, but I literally have been an espresso drinking coffee shop seeker since I was a teenager. This isn't anything new. This wasn't like a fad because of, you know, Starbucks or Dutch or anything like that. I literally had been like this since I was probably about 17 years old. About a year ago, I stopped buying coffee daily and I make my own coffee. I usually spend about $8 to $10 a week on my coffee, and then I do get just plain half and half. Just a small one. It's about $1.78. So my coffee bill has been reduced by just making my own coffee at home. However, I will add that every month I do put money on my Starbucks card because on Fridays, which is usually my errand day, I do go and get a venti iced Americano with half and half. That's my drink. All right, and then I'm just gonna kind of go back to my inventory list. We do have quite a few snacks in here. I got jerky, goldfish, granola bars, rice cakes. I have some tortilla chips left, seaweed, applesauce, cones. I do want to go ahead and get ice cream. Ice cream is usually under $5, $5 or less, because I do still have a brand new box of cones. And while I do have still half a loaf of sourdough, half or a quarter loaf of the white bread and then half a loaf of sprouted whole grain bread, I'll probably just go ahead and get one more bread. And I'll make a decision there because I do like sourdough. I love rye bread. But other people in my house like just plain white bread or like a wheat bread. So yeah, I think that is going to be it for my grocery list this week. It's looking like a pretty small list, and honestly, if I can stick to this, then I am going to be well under budget. I would like to add that I do have a regular store that I shop at, which is the cheapest around, but I do have other chain stores nearby that each week I do check their weekly ad online through their app. I also check my account with them, like the loyalty accounts that you can create. As time to time, there will be extra discounts in there or even a free item. Like the Safeway once a month puts a free item in there. Like I've gotten cheese, I've gotten, potatoes, things like that. I would recommend at least giving it consideration to see if other stores have any absolute can't pass up great deals. Then it might be worth it. An example I'll use is that I do watch those stores when they have like a buy two get three free on soda, as my boyfriend drinks soda. So that is a deal that I definitely grab, especially with the price of soda these days. I don't drink soda, I'm coffee and water girl. But anyways, I really hope that you see how simple this 3-step process can be implemented so you too can start saving money on your groceries and overall budget. If you made it to this point, please leave me a grocery cart in the comments below. And you know what would be hot is if you would like, comment, and subscribe to come along with me as I get my money right. I hope you all have a great weekend, and I will see you next time. Bye.